Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Nightmare on Elm Street DLC for Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Nightmare achievement. This is to get a merciless killer rating as the Nightmare. This is going to be done from the killer's side. You're going to have to play as the Nightmare for this, aka Freddy Krueger, so make sure you pick him up from either the DLC pack or from the in-game store. You're also going to need to get him up to a minimum of level 10 in order to open up 3 perk slots. The perks you want to equip and only equip are going to be Fire Up, Remember Me, and then finally you're going to want Blood Warden. Leave the 4th slot empty if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for add-ons and offerings. Once you have your setup ready, make sure you get into the game. Freddy is going to start out as more of a stealth-based killer at the start of games. Freddy's main gimmick is going to be the Dream World, which is going to basically put Oblivious on all of the survivors in the background after a little while, and in order to snap out of this obliviousness, they're going to have to go to an alarm clock, which is going to thankfully pull them off of generators if they don't want you sneaking up on them. You can also put Oblivious on any survivor just by hitting them, so make sure, even though you are a more stealthy killer at the start of the game, make sure you do still play aggressively, because you can put Obliviousness on someone after one hit, and that should reduce your terror radius on them. So if they do get away, you can sneak up on them later. Besides that gameplay gimmick, Freddy's main ability towards the beginning of the game is being able to teleport to any generator that hasn't been fully fixed yet. So this is going to help out a bunch with map mobility. Pretty much you are going to point at a generator and then you can hold the button in order to warp over there. That should scare anyone off of the generator, which should buy you some time either to locate them or kick the generator as soon as you make the jump. So make sure you do so, and this should help you pressure survivors early on when they are all spread apart. And then hopefully you should be able to stall them off of generators. So make sure you do take advantage of Freddy's map mobility in order to spread your chases around, and this should help you build up your chaser category as you are moving in between different survivors. That being said, definitely don't give up any opportunities to try to eliminate any survivors. If you have someone who's vulnerable and you can get them out of the game early, make sure you do so. And with that out of the way, Freddy's late game is going to be largely dependent on his perks. So the first perk is going to be Fire Up. The way this is going to work is every time a survivor fixes a generator, you are going to have all of your action speed increase. So you should be able to hook survivors a lot quicker later on in the game, as well as break stuff like pallets and barriers. So do take advantage of that. Freddy's late game is going to be improved thanks to his perk build. So he's going to move from a more stealthy approach to a more aggressive approach later on in the game, as you can do stuff a lot quicker and further pressure the survivors this way. As for Freddy's other 2 perks, they aren't going to be super useful if you are going for the merciless killer rating. The reason for that is they are going to kick in the super late game, and both revolve around the exit gate. The first one is going to basically increase the amount of time it takes for a survivor to open up the exit gate, which is only really useful when you're down to a single survivor and you get to that point after you close the hatch and do that little shuffle between the 2 exit gates trying to find them. It should help stall them a bit. As for the last perk, it's not going to kick in until the exit gates are actually open, which again, since we were going for the merciless, you are probably not going to utilize that one too well. Once you do find yourself in a one-on-one situation, though, with the last survivor, I highly recommend taking advantage of Freddy's other ability, which is going to be the Dream Snare. More likely than not, they're going to try to bait you into a loop to try to get the shake on you to make their grand escape. What you want to do is want to make sure you use the Dream Snare, which is going to be a trap that if they step on it, they are going to get a little disoriented. So make sure you use that to pressure them away from the loop, and then you can punish accordingly. Hopefully with these few tips, you should be able to score well in all of the major categories. And once you do, you should be good for the Merciless, which should give you the Adept, which should get you the achievement. Of course, on the results screen, you can always hit right bumper, and you can check what you need to improve on. Once you do get that +2, you should get to the achievement. It's going to be for 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.